Okay, there we go. How's that? Not quite sure what happened, but the little mute button was on. There we go. We should have sound now. You guys, I'm not going to go back and say the rest. Y'all know how this thing starts, but don't worry, we got sound now. Let me know in the comments if we have sound. You guys are all let me know very quickly. I appreciate that. You should have sound now. Let me know in the comments if you have sound. Do we have sound? Okay, Mallory says, hear you. Angela, good morning. Well, that kind of threw me off. So, anyway, don't forget to smash that like button, tag a fellow friend, share this post in a group. Let's say hi to all of my live folk friends, and then we're going to go in and talk about what's going on. Powell Pete and our Cheerios, man. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why the outlook for rates not good at all. So, good morning, Mr. Robert Bashirs, Thomas Sloan, Katie Colgan, Bobby Searson, Mike Tebow, Megan Lindberg, Tim Klyla. Trying to check the names here. James Mahan, Mallory Fotiadis. Good morning, Megan Lindberg. A lot of you were telling me about no sound, so I don't want to keep naming you over and over. Let's see. Angela Walters. I think I got everybody. Ray Stevens, Tom Deadmore, Mike Morano. Great to have all of you here. Thank you for joining me this morning. All right, so here's the deal. First things first, a quick recap of what happened yesterday. We were doing okay in the morning, and then Powell came on talking in the afternoon. Mortgage bonds went down. There were a couple of reprices worse. Actually, not a lot. However, pricing this morning going to be a lot worse than what it was yesterday is the breakdown here. Today, rate sheets are going to be worse. Like I said, Powell Pete and our Cheerios. Let me go ahead and bring up my screen. The advice is to go ahead and be locking all of your loans. I want to try something. Let me click on Chrome tab. I want to choose a tab and see if I can pull a particular here. Bear with me a second. Powell's Pet. There we go. Let me try this. I've never done it this way. Okay, and side by side. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see something here. Hold on, because I've never done this, so I want to see if I can. All right, well, you know what? Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Don't be impatient. I'm trying something new today. I'm on my little pooter too, so that doesn't help any, right? All right, come on, move this over. Does that show the whole thing? No, still doesn't. All right, forget it. I'm going back to the other to doing it the regular way. Hold on a minute. Let's stop screen sharing. Let's start screen sharing. Entire screen. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So, anyway, let's what we got going on this morning. So here's the deal. Mortgage-backed securities are currently down 21 basis points to start the day. What I want to show you here with the technicals, take a look here. We are testing the floor of support that we've had over the last couple of weeks, and I think we're going to break through. Back here in June and in May, June is the last time that we saw these. Mortgage-backed securities have been improving since the end of June, beginning of July, and we have consistently improved through September. And this was all that positive, hey, we're going to start seeing Fed rate cuts. The economy is going to slow down. The labor market is getting weak. The Fed's going to have to react to this. The Fed funds rate is going to continue to move lower. Markets were anticipating many, many more rates on the horizon. And then 2 months ago, September 15th, we were at the top of the world, my friends. We were at the top of the world. It was just like we were so excited and everything was roses. And now it is a full 180-degree pivot from there. Now, again, I want to talk about a lot of times people are like, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what's going on. Well, we're reacting to a moving environment. The environment for rates changed. Back on September 15th, we were looking at the idea that the Fed was going to cut rates through the end of 2024 and well into 2025, bringing that Fed funds rate down to a neutral rate somewhere in the low threes. Okay. Now we're going to look at where those expectations have changed and why they've changed. Now, once again, rate sheets today are going to be worse, quite a bit worse. That's why the last couple of days I've been in a lock stance for anything that was closing in the near term and anything with like 30 days. Now I just say lock everything. If you get a loan, lock it, because the chances of us seeing rates that are worse than where we're at today over the next couple of months is higher than the idea that rates are going to improve. we're not likely to see rates improve anytime soon. So that's why I'm in that position. As far as today goes, I think things could get worse today. I wouldn't wait too long to lock. If you do want to cautiously float, it's very unlikely that we see reprices better. Friday's rates are going to suck anyway. Lenders generally are going to be a bit more conservative going on today. So I think reprice risk on the day today is high. Now, the outlook over the last couple of weeks, we had been looking for this idea that the Fed would go ahead and that we would have seen a rebound. See it right here? All right, see this uptick? I don't know if it's coming across on my screen the way I want. I'm going to jiggle around my mouse so it makes that big pointer. Okay, see this uptick right here? This uptick here in bonds? Remember, when bonds go down, when we see this trend go down, that's bad for mortgage rates. Rates went up. When we look at the end of June into July, mortgage rates improved because mortgage-backed securities were selling for more money. They improved, and we saw better rates. Then September 15th, middle of September, 2 months ago. Now we've given it all back. So from July and August, and then into September, and then September into October, and now into November, we are continuing to see these losses. Now, we looked like we were going to get some improvement. That Fed meeting, there was some hope here. We were expecting to see a rebound. We had talked in the past that October is generally, the last 2 years, has not been a good month for mortgage rates, and we were looking to get a rebound. However, take a look here. Do y'all see, and let me know in the comments, say, yes, we see, and let me know if you guys are getting this, right? So we have this uptick. Look at the shape, right? We went down, we've got a ski slope. We went up, we came down it, and off we go. And however, once we got to here and we passed that 200-day moving average and it looked like we might be in the clear, things were so, okay, I've got hope. And then bang, it's like somebody slammed my hand with a hammer. And we are back down here, and we are seeing things get worse and worse now. I'm going to put this on a 3-month. You can see it very, very clearly. The same thing here. We went up, and now we're going down. And look at this morning. Now we are down 30 basis points, and this is what I was afraid of, y'all. This is why I said reprice risk is high, because now it's triggering off selling. It's triggering off automated selling. We have broken below a floor of support, and it's a big deal. Let's take a look at that 10-year Treasury yield. I'll bet you yep, there it is. 4.5, 4.5. We were at 4.46 just a few minutes ago. 4.5. It's going to get worse from here. This likely opens up the floodgates for things to get worse from here. That's why the advice is to lock everything. Reprice risk is high. You want to be locking loans. Mike Morano said, Doge, Powell out first. Isn't he an attorney by trade? You know what? Listen, you can't blame Powell for this, right? So yesterday, I'll show you Powell's comments in a minute, but let me know in the comments, are you guys with me? I mean, there's 37 of you on, so you got to be with me. Do you see what I'm talking about with the technicals and what we're looking at there and why that bodes poorly? Let me show you why we're seeing that and what the fundamentals are behind it. So let me know in the comments. I need you guys commenting to keep me going, or else I feel like I'm just talking to a little green button on my computer, right? So taking a look here, let me go back to the screens. I want to show you the Powell, the article. So Fed's Powell says, no need to hurry, rate cuts with economy strong. He sees inflation on sometimes bumpy path towards 2% target, especially if you want to take out that shelter, which we know in the CPI is a large part of the inflation numbers. We're at that 2% target. The Fed's where they want to be with inflation at this point. We'll see what the PCE numbers come in at. They're going to come in at real close with that. So, but the economy's strength allows Fed to approach decisions carefully. So here's a few things. Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the recent performance of the U.S. economy has been remarkably good, giving central bankers room to lower interest rates at a careful pace. The economy is not sending any signals that we need to be in a hurry rates. This is a very hawkish comment. Powell said Thursday in Dallas. The strength we are currently seeing in the economy gives us the ability to approach our decisions carefully. Now, I said in lock advice that I sent out this morning, the economy, when we look at the reports, these reports are legitimate. Today, retail sales this morning came in much higher than expected, and they even update to last month's. Don't get old. that, they revised last month's numbers even higher. Okay. Now, we know the reality. When you go out and talk to people, it seems like people are struggling. People talk about being paycheck to paycheck. We know that people are out there absolutely struggling. But I'm going to tell you something. I am here in Austin, Texas. Yesterday, we went out as a group. There were a bunch of us. We went to dinner. We walked by the Apple store. This is about 7:30 at night. Do you know how busy the Apple store was? There had to be 40 people in the Apple store. Now, they're not all there playing, I don't know what's the game today. Like, they're not playing Candy Crush, right? They are in there. People are buying shit. The economy is moving, but I think a large portion of it is on credit. We know there's record debt. We know that there is an unprecedented access to consumer credit. Like I've said before, I ordered a new Jeep. The 2024 Jeeps are not moving off the lots. What does Stellantis do? 0% financing, right? Access to credit. They'll give you a freaking 7-year loan. I don't know what the 0% is, probably 3 years, but even a 7% loan with interest, they are giving access to credit. I think we are going to see one hell of a recession in the next couple of years, because I say the next couple of years because I don't know how long this can continue, but it seems like we've drawn this out so far. Mike said, understood and agree. You should see all the credit card debt on applications. Yeah, so you guys are seeing it, right? So I see this just being drawn out. Now, again, I don't want to make this about politics, but we're in politics mode. Trump is going to get blamed, and I'm curious to see how his administration will deal with this. But I think we are going to see, for the first time, we're not in a housing bubble. I'm not going to say we're in a housing bubble, but I think we're going to get to a point where housing's going to have to go backwards. Okay, we're going to lose value. If it's 25 or it's 26, I don't know how much longer this can go. Like, it's kind of like we're stacking things on wet paper towel. Remember, like one of those commercials, they wanted to show you how strong Bounty is compared to the competitor. They would wet the paper towel and then they put like marbles on it until the marbles break through the wet paper towel. That's where we're at. How many marbles can we stack on this wet paper towel called our economy before it finally gives? And when it gives, it's going to give hard. We've got record stock markets moving. We've got people spending money that they don't have. We've got all these things going on. It's going to break. This is not sustainable. When it breaks, mortgage rates will benefit. Consumers will be, we will be pulling ourselves up to the, not consumers, originators will be pulling up to the table, ready to eat. Okay. Things are going to be tough again until we get there. It looked like we were coming out the other side. I was so optimistic in September. You guys were with me for that journey. And I was like, man, finally, here we go. It's where it should be. A nice, easy, gradual movement lower. Rates will end up in the 5s. We'll be smooth sailing. All that got totally annihilated and thrown out the window. We are 180 degrees different from that view. What changed? Everything. The expectation of where the Fed funds rate would be, how the economy is doing, how the labor market is doing, those things change. The reports that came in, whether we want to say they're valid or not, those are the reports that are coming in. And there are signs that the economy is doing just fine. Again, it's sick, but we can't see the sickness. And I don't want to trigger anybody. I don't want to make this too whatever, but it really is. It's like having a cancer. And, the economy is sick. We don't see it yet, but all of a sudden the economy is going to get skinny. The economy is going to start losing weight. Economy is going to get some circles under its eyes. And we're going to see how sick the economy really is right now. But until that happens, for the more immediacy, the reason we're locking everything is this is not good for rates. So Powell came out yesterday and he's like, hey, we're not in a hurry to cut rates. So yesterday, if you remember, when we looked at let me go ahead and pop this up on the screen. When we looked at over here, we looked at this at the tool, CME tool, right? We were looking at December rate cuts. Remember, they were almost 80%. Almost 80% yesterday when we did this. 55% expectation of a rate cut in December now. We saw a huge drop in expectation. When you go into January and March and May, I mean, we're currently, right now, we are at 4.5. And you look at the expectation in May of next year, in June of next year, you're barely at 4. There's some expectation will be at 3.75. These don't even count. All right. This is where markets think we are basically kind of we've lost that expectation. Markets were saying, hey, when we compare this to where we were, look at this. A month ago, 40% believed we'd be at 3.5, and the other 25%, 65% figured we'd below 3.75, and then the other 25% were here. Look at the difference between a month ago, this light column, and the darkest column today. Now, I mean, you're talking a half a point, right? They thought we'd be at 3.5. Hey, we're going to be at 4. And the expectation here, 25% that we would be at 3.25. Now it's 25% will be at 4.25. The market expectations have changed tremendously. And that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. So Rob Stewart said, love the commentary. Thanks for down to earth explanations. You're welcome, my friends. Just want you guys to be able to, and like, you need to be able to explain this to a consumer because they're going to go through grief. They don't want to let go of the idea that rates are going to get better. Everybody wants rates to get better because they're struggling. It's hard. And you have to say to them, look, this is why it's not likely that rates are going to go down. Something has to change in order to see that happen. We need to see a couple of, all right, let me finish the sentence. We need to see a couple of weak labor market reports. Look at the last labor market report, though. Came in much worse than expected. Jobs weren't created. Unemployment did not go up, though. That was the key. But the number of jobs created, 10,000 jobs. And yet, by the end of the day, we were actually negative. We had seen bonds go negative. How does that happen? How does that happen? We should have seen like a huge rally. Nope. So there's not much on the horizon that gives hope right now. That's why the advice is you need to be locking it. If you get it, lock it. If you get it, lock it. If you have it, lock it. If you lost rate, deal with it. Lock it. This is not good. And when we look again, I'm going to show the screens again. Look at the technicals. This is a big deal that we are breaking below this 98, 80-ish mark that we were at, 98.83. Here we started at 98.84, and now we're at 98.67. I mean, we busted below this little imaginary line here, this level of support, and it's likely to continue like these here. I think we're going to see another trend lower. I think we're going to see rates move lower over the next next week. I think is going to be a worse week for rates and pricing. What do we have on the economic calendar for next week? Let's take a look together here. This is Mortgage News Daily for those of you interested. I'm sorry, MBS Live, which is the paid arm of Mortgage News Daily. So we've got housing starts, building permits. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Goolsby speech. None of this stuff. There's the big thing is the PMI data on Friday. See the little yellow star? That's the big thing on Friday. We got jobless claims. Jobless claims, Joe, people are not going out on unemployment. It's just not big numbers here. There's nothing pointing to weakness. So anyway, I'm out of here, my friends. I actually talked a lot longer than I thought I would. I got to go grab some breakfast. I'm going to go get started. Lock them if you got them, like my friend John Melnick said. And I will see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Please let me know, because I did spend 20 minutes sitting here babbling. Let me know. I just look for the kudos, guys. I am a feedback whore. I am a compliment whore. I do this for the love. Give me some love in the comments. If I helped you today, if the explanation is there, if you agree with me, just converse with me. Let me know in the comments. Take a few minutes and write that in for me. I do this for you. That's all I ask you to do for me. Just make me feel good. Show me that I'm loved. This is the adult child of an alcoholic talking. So I need to just feel a little bit of love from you guys, because, man, I hate bringing you the bad news like this. I hate talking like this. So let me know in the comments if it's here. And the fact that there's 45 of you on live shows me you do love me. But tell me anyway. I need to hear it. So, all right, my friends, have a good weekend. Again, buckle down. You made it this far. We're going to make it through this. All right. I appreciate all of you. And again, thank you for all the love, guys. Appreciate it.